Could real magic exist? Well, maybe. This concept of intelligence existing outside the physical confines of the living organism has been hard for the scientific community to accept. But over the past 5 to 10 years, hard evidence has been produced which is having its effect on the scientific skeptics. Magic users have known this for years. Dr. Carl Pribram, a prominent American brain surgeon, sees the brain's neurons outpicturing the physical universe, similar to the holographic process. He suggests that our brains are exposed to the entire concept of the universe in the same way that any minute part of a hologram contains basically the same information as the whole. British scientist, Jacob Boehm came up with the same holographic theory and had it published in a prominent scientific journal. But probably most amazing of all is the theory that British physicist Rupert Sheldrake has proffered. If his theory is proven correct, it will rival Charles Darwin's theory of evolution in its magnitude. Basically, he has proven repeatedly through laboratory-controlled experiments that different species of animals appear to be plugged into a dedicated intelligence field which is universal to that particular species. For example, when enough mice in a group have learned a maze, they all suddenly know the maze whether they have run it or not. Even mice get information from source. In some later posts we will show you some simple spells that will quickly bring you answers to any question you want. It now appears, after a BBC television experiment, that if enough humans have learned something, then it becomes easier for all humans to learn it. Sheldrake calls this shared intelligence the morphogenetic field. There is an interesting parable about his called the 100th monkey relating to an apparent observation made on a remote Japanese island. A very bright female monkey on a small island was taught to wash sweet potatoes in the sea water. She then taught other members of the tribe to do this. When approximately 100 monkeys had learned this procedure, many other remote monkey tribes started washing potatoes in the same manner. But the interesting thing is that these other tribes were situated on other remote islands and also on the mainland. That is, they had no possible way of acquiring this knowledge, other by some form of intuitive universal sharing. The BBC in London tried out Sheldrake's theory on 8 million of their viewers. They showed on prime time TV, a difficult puzzle that only a very small percentage of their viewers were able to solve. Then the correct answer was also given on prime time TV. Shortly after, the same experiment was repeated by a TV network in another country. A far higher percentage of these foreign viewers were able to get the puzzle right the first time. As the puzzle was in the form of a universal pictorial concept, language and customs were not considered to be a factor. The BBC and Sheldrake concluded that as the correct answer was now existing within the human morphogenetic field, then the human race now knows the answer. Basically, Sheldrake's theory explains intuitive functioning to a degree. What Sheldrake is saying is that there is a larger mind for each life form and each individual life form programs that larger mind. The theory might be laughable except for Sheldrake's acceptance in the scientific community and also the BBC experiment. But probably the most startling, and easily repeatable, experiments came from Cleve Baxter, a polygraph, lie detector, expert. Operating from his San Diego, Californian laboratory, he found that plants react at a distance to human thought. He initially connected his polygraph equipment to a dragon plant to test for possible plant stress. He decided to generate stress by burning the plant's leaves, and sure enough the polygraph machine registered a strong reaction. But he hadn't actually burnt the leaves, he had only intended to do so. He had thought about it with emotion and intent. Skeptics who tried the same experiment without genuine intent couldn't get it to work. Baxter went a step further and totally shocked the scientific world. He scraped human cells from a volunteer's mouth and connected these to his polygraph and medical EEG equipment. He found to his utter amazement that these cells reacted instantaneously to the donor's emotions, even when they were geographically separated. White blood cells were found to be particularly susceptible to emotion. This intelligence field is the key to the most extraordinary part of the advanced mind power research of Jim Francis, his discoveries about our mental connection with the morphogenetic field. And this is how his exciting programs work, such as subjective communication, the ability to connect with other people's minds through this field to create win/win situations. And remote viewing, the ability to see people, objects, and places in the past, present and future by accessing this field. And remote influencing, the ability to transfer emotions and heal people from a distance, through this field. In magic there has been reports that these things happen all the time. Stay paranoid, my friends.